You're listening to the Doc Lounge podcast. This is a place for candid healthcare conversations with physician recruitment industry's top executives and thought leaders. This podcast is made possible by Pacific Companies, your trusted advisor in physician recruitment. My name is Summer Gilbert, and I am the Director of Marketing and Branding here at Pacific Companies. Today on the podcast, we are doing another episode of the Ask the Expert series. If you are not familiar with this series, every week we'll be answering questions sent to us by physicians all over the U.S. The experts here at Pacific Companies have decades of combined experience in physician recruitment and will be sharing their knowledge and answering questions from our physician community. There is no wrong question to ask our experts, so if you have a question you want to send us, email thedoclounge@pacificcompanies.com. Today, our expert is Pacific Company's EVP of Permanent Recruiting, David Rubio. Thanks for hanging with me today, David.
Absolutely.
So we'll just jump right into the question. Today, our question is from a cardiologist in the state of Louisiana, and he is asking, on your website, I see you do a community practice profile. What exactly is that, and why is it necessary?
Great question. Yeah, we get that question quite a bit. And really the main purpose for us to visit our clients is to really evaluate the opportunity. I think you would agree that part of the decision-making process is focused on the professional and financial side of the opportunity, but equally as important is the community, right? Because quite honestly, we represent a lot of areas that people are not familiar with. And people are less likely to pursue that location because of lack of familiarity, right? So part of what we do is really spend at least 1 or 2 days in the community, both in meeting with the group, getting a good sense of expectations, call schedule, what the typical work week, all kind of the business side of the opportunity. After meetings are done, we'll take a community tour with a real estate agent. And really the purpose behind that is really get a good sense of the area, right? What are the people like? We want to drink the local coffee, have the local food. A lot of times there's different nuances and different unique components to that area that you may not be familiar with. For example, you're in Louisiana, you would definitely understand what I'm referring to. You have the Cajun, French Cajun culture down in the southern part of the state. And Louisiana, as you know already, is the only state in our country that represents their locations on called parishes versus counties. So there's little fun random facts that we share with people that they may not be familiar with. So we'll get information, dive into details on the crime rate, the schools, eateries, restaurants, stuff to do in your free time. Because quite often physicians want to know, that's great opportunity, but what's there to do when I'm not working, right? And we'll get a good sense on your interests outside of medicine and see if that's available in these communities. So we'll present all these details to you and your significant other, assuming that you have one. And based upon the facts, you can make a decision if this is something worthwhile. Because when you're looking at different opportunities, I would imagine there'd be several that pique your interest, right? You don't have time to interview at every single job that comes across your desk, right? So you have a criteria. We want to find out what that criteria is. Quite often, a lot of those interests fall into the location. So based upon what you share with us, we can align what's available in the area that we're representing and make a preliminary determination if this can be a match. So the likelihood of it being a fit is much higher because we've been there. We can speak about the people, the work culture, the work-life balance. A lot of questions we ask physicians and staff that we meet with is, hey, you've been here for 6 or 7 years. Why'd you decide to come here? Because quite often people were in your position years prior. What's their story? Why do they come here? What's kept them here? Because it's not just about recruiting, it's about retention. So again, we want to present to you all the facts from a professional, personal, and a location standpoint, which dives into subcategories of what we just discussed: schools, community, interests, food, all that good stuff. So really, that's what we look to accomplish, and we can share with you. And that what makes us different at Pacific Companies is that we visit every single location that we represent. We're not just, behind a desk, trying to persuade you to go to somewhere that you never heard of. We can speak to it and really give you the facts and see if it's something that makes sense for you at this point of your career.
Yeah. And one thing that I think is really important is that you recruiters come back and you put together a PC compass. And so as a physician, if I forget a question or I don't know to ask something, it's already there in that write-up.
That's a great point, Summer. Yeah, and this information has all been verified and confirmed by our clients which are both administrators as well as physicians, we want to make sure we're portraying accurate information. That way you have all the facts so you can make an evidence-based informed decision on this particular opportunity. And again, it increases the likelihood of being a match because of all the upfront work that we've conducted. So that, you're right, when we talk to physicians, I mean, they're not going to retain everything that we share with them. So we complement our conversation with a nice follow-up email with this Compass report, PC Compass report, and allows you to have all this in a written format, because you're going to probably want to share this information with your significant other, and that way he or she can get on board and get excited about this potential move.
Awesome. Well, thank you, David. And I hope we answered your question. Until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you to all our listeners. If you'd like to be notified when new episodes air, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And thank you to Pacific Companies. Without you guys, this podcast would not be possible. If you'd like to be a guest or for more information, go to www.pacificcompanies.com.